Good morning, students. We are again back with our second part of class 6 computer science. Okay, class 6 computer science. We are going through the chapter 2 computer languages. Okay, going through the chapter 2, that is computer languages. In the last class, we have discussed about the categorization of computer programming languages. What are programming languages? What are the programs? Okay, so in that categorization, we have discussed about the different generations, the first generation, second generation, third generation, fourth generation, and the fifth generation programming languages. In that session, we have discussed about the low-level language, what are the low-level languages, what are the high-level languages, and in generation-wise, we have discussed about the up to the third generation programming language. So today we are going to start with the fifth generation programming languages, fourth generation programming language, fourth generation programming language. The fourth generation programming language. The fourth generation languages are very close to the human language and they are abbreviated as, we can write it fourth generation as 4GL, that stands for fourth generation language, and they are mainly used for the data access, report generation, data manipulation, analysis, reporting, etc. Okay, they are used for data manipulation, analysis, and reporting and generation. Report generation. So the use of fourth generation languages are for the data manipulation, analysis of the data, and then preparing the report and then generating the report. Okay. Now the some of the few characteristics of the fourth generation languages are they are portable and platform independent. That means once we create the program using the fourth generation language, it can be easily portable and it is machine independent. That means if you create a software or the program for one set of machine, it can be easily run on the another machine. Okay, that means it is portable and machine independent. It is machine independent. Okay, the second one, the fourth generation languages are written in easy format so that they are easy to debug and testing, as it uses the language as similar to the human language. Okay, it is very much closer to the human language, so it is very easy. It is written in such a format, easy format, so that easy format, so that debugging and testing is easy. Okay. The next point, they have high speed of execution and they are very simple, but still they are need to be converted into machine language, but also the speed of execution or for speed of executing the instructions is very high in compared to the third generation language. High speed of execution execution in comparison to third generation language. Okay. Then the next point, they are used to develop the software in the less time and at minimum cost. Less cost and minimum time. Time duration. So these are the few points or the characteristics of fourth generation programming language. First one, it is abbreviated or it can be written as 4GL, that stands for fourth generation language. Then second one, it is used for data manipulation, analysis and reporting and the report generation. Okay, that means it is related to most of the work done by the fourth generation languages are related to database management system. It is related to database management system. An example are Python, Ruby, and Perl, or you can say SQL. Okay, Python, Ruby, Perl, and SQL are some of the examples of fourth generation programming language. Then another point was portable and machine independent. That means once we write a program for the one set of machines, it can be easily run on the another machine. Okay, so it is machine independent and portable, easily portable from one system to another. The next point, easy format so that debugging and testing is easy. The writing of the programs written by using the fourth generation programming languages have very easy format of writing, and so that the debugging and the testing of the software or the programs are very easy. Okay, then the speed of execution, the speed of execution. The programs which were written in the third generation languages are little bit slower in comparison to fourth generation language. So the speed of execution in the execution of the programs are high speed in comparison to the third generation language. And the next one is less cost and minimum time duration. The costing of creating a software or for developing the software is very less and less time duration also. Okay. Now we will come to the next generation, that is fifth generation programming languages. Fifth generation programming languages. Okay. The fifth generation programming languages are generally used for the purpose of the field of artificial intelligence. It is used in the field of artificial intelligence. Second one, till now, the third generation and the fourth generation languages are dependent on the procedure based. They were the procedure based programming where they have to follow one step by another to solve the problem, whereas the fifth generation language is used for logical based programming. It is logical based programming. That means it will only use, it uses its own logic to solve the program on the given scenario or condition. Okay. The example of the fifth generation language is Mercury and Prolong. Mercury and Prolong, and general use in the field of art robotics. Is generally used in the field of robotics. Okay, so these are the few characteristics of fifth generation programming language. First one, it is used in the field of, it uses the artificial intelligence. Second one, the programs which are created by using the fifth generation languages are logical based programming concepts. Then third, the examples of programming languages are Mercury and Prolong, and it is used in the field of general use of the fifth generation language is used in the field of robotics. Okay. Now, so these are the five categorizations or classifications of programming languages, or you can say the computer languages, depending on the uses and how the languages are created and written. Okay. Now we will discuss about difference between high level language and low level language. We will discuss about some common differences between high level language and low level low level language. High level language and the low level language. The first important difference between high level language and the low level language is that it is the high level languages are easy to write. They are easier to write, whereas the low level languages were difficult to write the program. Okay. Now, why it is easier to write the programs in high level language? Because it uses the terms, or it uses the English alphabet, symbols, and mathematical digits to write the program. So it is very easier to understand and to write the program for the programmer. Whereas at the low level language, it uses either the binary number system or mnemonic code, so it is very difficult to remember and to understand and to write the program code. Okay. Now, second one, easy to debug and test. Second one, difficult to debug and test. The high level languages are easy to debug and for testing, because as the programmer can easily understand the programming languages, they are very easy to debug it out. They can easily find out the errors and it can be rectified, and they can easily test the program code. Whereas for the low level languages, it is very difficult. Okay. Now, third difference, processing or execution. Processing or execution of program is slow. Whereas here the processing or execution of program is fast. The how the processing or execution of program is slow because the high level languages are need to be converted needs a translator and it has to be converted into machine language before execution, so it takes time, and so the processing of the or the execution of program is slower in comparison to the low level language, whereas the low level language, the processing is fast because it can be directly understood by the machine, and as it is written in binary code or mnemonic code, it can be directly converted and it can be executed fast. And the fourth one is example. You can take the examples of Proton, C, C++, .NET, and here machine language and assembly language. So these are the four major differences between the high level language and the low level language. First one, the high level languages are easier to write as it is nearly comparable to the human language, okay, using the English alphabet, mathematical digits, and some special symbols. Whereas low level languages are difficult to write. Second one, it is easy to debug and test, whereas low-level languages are difficult to debug and test. Third, the processing and execution of program is slower as it has to be converted by the language processor or the translator into machine language and then it is executed, whereas the low-level language, the processing or execution is fast. And then the examples of high-level language, Proton, C, C++, .NET, Java. In last class, we have discussed about different programming languages. Okay. Now, come to the next topic. We come to the next topic, that is the advantages of high-level language. Some of the important advantages of high-level language are, in high-level language, we can collectively we can say about the third generation, fourth generation, and the fifth generation language. Okay. First one, it is instructions are similar to English, which makes high-level language easy to understand. Okay. The first advantage, easy to understand, as it is written by using English alphabet, mathematical digits, and special symbol. Okay. The second advantage is it is easy to write, correct, and test the program. Easy to write, debug, and test the program are very useful to this language, and so they are easy to understand. They can easily write, debug, and test the programs written in the high level language. And the most important difference is machine independence. The programs written in high level languages are machine independent. That means if we write a program for one set of machines, it can be easily carried to the another machine, and it can be easily run on that another machine also. We do not need to write a separate program for each state of system as we do it in the low level language. Okay, so these are the three major advantages of using the high level language over the low level languages. Now we come to the last topic, that is language processor. Language processor. The language processors are also known as language translator. Translator. Okay. Now, first of all, understand what is the language processor or the language translator. Okay. The language processor or the translator are, their task is to convert the high level language program into the machine level language, because the computer cannot understand the high level languages. So it uses the language processor and it converts into the machine language, that is the computer understandable language, in the form of 0 and 1, and then the program is being executed by the system. Okay. Thus, the translator software is used to convert high-level language code to machine language code. When a program is fed or when we give input to the computer, language translator automatically converts the program into the machine language and checks its syntax for the error. So, the major task of the any language processor are is to convert the program from high level language to low level language and check for any syntax error. Okay, if any error occurs, it will be notified to the programmer, and then the error has to be debugged and is to be corrected by the programmer itself. Okay. So the major task of any language translator or the language processor is to convert the program from high level language to the low level language, and it checks for any syntax error, and if error is there, then it will notify the user or the programmer, and it has to be corrected by the programmer itself. Clear? Now, generally we discuss about the different types of language processor or the translator. The types of language processor and the types of language processor. The first one is assembler. The first one is assembler. Okay. The work of the assembler is the translator which is used to convert assembly level assembly language instructions into machine code or machine language. Okay, its task is to convert convert the program written in assembly language into machine language. Okay, the assembler is used to convert the programs written in assembly language to the machine language. Okay, now the second type of language processor is interpreter. Interpreter. Okay, the second type of la language processor is the interpreter, which converts high level language into machine language machine language line by line by one line at a time. Line by line means it will only convert or go through the program or the code line by line, and if error occurs occurs it stops and notify the programmer the programmer or user of the program. Okay, the interpreter. How the interpreter works? It converts the high level language into machine level language line by line, and if an error occurs anywhere in the program while execution, it stops there itself immediately, and it will notify the programmer or the user that in that particular line an error is there, and then it has to be rectified by the user itself or the programmer. Once the programmer has rectified or corrected the error, then again it will move further for the interpretation. Okay, and again it will move to the next line. So this is the difference. It is the way of working of the interpreter. It converts high level language into machine level language line by line, and if error occurs, it stops there and it will report to the user or the programmer of the program, and once the error has been corrected or rectified, it moves further. Okay, the next one is the next one next and the last one is compiler. It converts high level language into machine language in one go, and at last it reports the report the error if any error is there, if any. Okay, and so the compiler it also is used to convert the high level languages, but it go through the whole program at a one go, and at last it will report the errors to the user. It will report the error to the user at the last, and once the error has been rectified or corrected by the user or the programmer, it will again compile the whole program from the starting itself. So the major difference between interpreter and the compiler was that both are used for the high level language to convert it into the machine languages, but the working is different. The interpreter used to interpret or translate the program line by line, and if an error occurs, it stops there, rectifies your user, and once the error is corrected, it moves further. Whereas the compiler, it compiles whole program at a one time, and then it reports the error at the last, and once the error is being corrected, it compiles whole program again. Okay, so this is the working of the compiler. So there are the three types of language processor we have discussed: assembler, interpreter, and the compiler. Assembler is used to convert the assembly languages into machine language. Interpreter and the compiler both are used for the high level languages. Okay, and this is how we come to the end of this lesson. Okay, and in our next session we will discuss the exercises of our this particular chapter. Okay, till now, thank you.